Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driver Range. Oh, we have a question that came in today from Facebook, Swing Surgeon Facebook. And this one comes from Curtis Wagner. And he says, head position on irons versus the driver versus chipping. When I set up with my nose over the ball, using a driver, I don't do well. I learned start back, stay back on drivers. Start ahead and stay ahead on irons. Okay, two great sayings right there, Curtis. And I definitely think that one of the issues here is that you're using the term nose over the ball. Now, initially that is my fault. I always thought about nose over the ball, meaning that when I'm doing my diagnosis and prescription sheet, I do a lot of, anybody that's been to a lesson with me or a golf school knows that I use a lot of, I got a lot of my own symbols and my own abbreviations and things when I'm doing the diagnosis. And I like NOB, N-O-B, nose over the ball. But what I found out was, after we really started doing a lot of golf schools and things, I found that when people had nose over the ball, they were starting to get like this. They were starting to bend over more and trying to get their nose directly over the ball. Now, nose over the ball meant, I always want your nose directed at the ball. Your eyes work where they turn inward. Your eyes are in a ball and socket joint, right? So your eyes can move around in this socket. They both peer inward to a central point directly out from the nose. They call that the focal field of focal triangulation. To that point, and then they see a straight line from there. So we always want our nose at the ball. All right? We don't want it cocked behind the head like this, because a lot of people, very famous golfer did that, and he always felt that helped him make a bigger turn and stay behind the ball more, get behind the ball, whatever. The point is that he forgot to tell everybody he was left eye dominant, okay? And whether you're left eye dominant or right eye dominant, I think that the term is now that I use, when I started seeing too many people getting their, bending over too much and getting this way, which actually got them left, as Curtis implied happens. If you get your nose over the ball, you got a tendency to get ahead of it, on top of it or ahead of it. And then it gets even worse once you get in the swing. I want nose at the ball. All right? We know that no matter what club we want, from a wedge, if I'm in here with a wedge, and I'm basically staying fairly neutral, my nose is still a little bit behind the ball, but I'm going to turn my head just enough to get my nose at the ball. And how do you know if your nose is at the ball? Well, all you got to do is stand here, close your eyes, and open it up, and the ball should be in the center of your focus. If you got your nose like this, which ultimately at this point is pointing back here someplace, all right? If I want to check my nose with the closing the eyes and open up, when I open up here, my eyes are really looking about there, and the ball's over here. It's in the left side of it's out way over towards what appears to be like closer to my left eye. So we want nose at the ball. Open your eyes, shut them, open them up, and the ball should be in the middle. Nose at the ball. Now, as I get into a longer club, and say I'm standing here with a sandwich in the middle, and I just keep going. I keep going to longer and longer clubs. As I keep going here, to a point where I got my driver off my left heel, my arms come up here. I'm in this position to hit the ball, and what do? My nose is at the ball. All right? Because if I just kept my nose in the same place it was here for the sand wedge, all right, and as I'm going this way, if I kept my nose here, where's it pointing? It's pointing way back there. So I just have to turn my head a little bit till it's right in there, and I can get closed and open, and the ball should be in the center of my vision. So now I'll be seeing all my angles will be correctly in my mind to see my takeaway path and the plane I'm going to swing on, and then my forward swing path down to the target, because the ball's in the right position. I'm looking at it correctly. Nose at the ball. N-A-B. NAB. You don't want nose, N-B-B, nose behind the ball. That's not good. So the key is that no matter where the ball is in our stance, and we play wedges through the 7 in the middle and gradually move backwards till the driver is off the heel. With an open stance, if you played it more off the instep like folks do with square stances versus our feet flared open, or left or outward, we need to be on the heel, because if we did that, you'd be way too far forward. See here? There's a big difference between here and now the ball being there. Okay, now it's almost going to be up at my toe line when you have square feet rather than the flared feet. So flared feet with a driver will be about the heel. So we're going to go from center for wedges and through the 7-iron till it gradually move forward till it gets near the heel. And in most cases, it's not going to move more than an inch and a half to 2 inches from the wedges through the driver. Okay, but we want N-A-B, nose at the ball. So I guess we could say, as we hear in talk out there, my bad. because again, what I've always said is the most important thing, that the way I describe, the way I see and feel, and what I'm trying to get across to you is words are important. And I came to realize very quickly that over the ball, nose over the ball, was not the way to do it, because more people were figuring out this rather than get back on here and just turn your head to have your nose at the ball. All right, and that's critical to keep the focus, to keep the ball in the middle of our focus, all right, which is that point straight out from your nose. All right, so let's keep the nose at the ball instead of over the ball, and I think all these issues that Curtis was describing here as giving him problems goes away. All right. With that, when you get the ball in the right position, remember, bad ball position and looking in the wrong places is going to give you a big problem of hitting the ball consistently solid and therefore hitting it straight and shooting those lower scores. So nose at the ball and the ball in the right place is very critical for, even with good alignment, bad ball position, effectively ball back has you aimed right, ball forward has you aimed left. So even with perfect posture, perfect alignment, toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes, all the way up and down, bad ball position, if it's back, you're effectively aimed right. And if it gets too far forward, you'll hit the ball too late, and you're eventually going to hit pulls because it's effectively aimed left. So nose at the ball really is a big thing to hopefully eradicating most of those problems and getting it down to a much more simple technique. Never mind the fact that it's optimizing your vision of seeing the ball in the center of your stance, excuse me, the center of your field of vision, which is aligned straight out from your nose. So as the ball goes more forward and you're technically getting a little bit more behind the ball, your head just turns to keep the nose at the ball. Nose at the ball, NAB. Get that down pat, and you'll be seeing that you'll hit a bunch more solid straight, very likely longer, and shooting those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.